It's been about 6 months since Disney launched their newest in-app and park planning tool, Genie Plus and Lightning Lane. Like I said in my first Genie Plus video, this feature on the app has caused so much controversy in the Disney-loving community. Genie Plus is intended to be used as a paid product. Previously, this was free. It was known as the Fast Pass system. If you're looking for a breakdown of what Genie Plus and Lightning Lane are, I will make sure that I link a video here for you. Today is about the how to use it, so you kind of need the step one first. This has been a super highly requested video, both in the comments here and then when I've been posting question boxes over on Instagram. The first question, and the one I get repeated most often, is Genie Plus worth it? And today I'm gonna tell you my thoughts. For all of the magical lifestyle tips, both inside the parks and out, please be sure to subscribe. And if you like this content, I would love it if you could give this video a little thumbs up, hit the notification bell so that I know what kind of content you like to see. We recently went to Disney, and at the time of this filming, I've been home for about 3 days, but I wanted to film this video first so that I could get all of my thoughts and understandings about Genie Plus out to you. When I say that we went during an incredibly busy time, I mean park crowd calendars were at a 10 out of 10, like Christmas season busy. We were just there in October, about 6 months ago, for the first days of the 50th anniversary celebration, which was packed with every Disney dork like me in the world. This was busier. This time was busier. Because we were traveling, not just the three of us and my family, myself, my husband, and our 6-year-old daughter, we went with my sister, her husband, and their 2 girls who are both 6 and 2. We knew that there were going to be attractions in each park that were must-dos for the kids, which meant that we also knew we were going to need to try to use Disney's Genie Plus because of the crowd levels and based on what the girls wanted to do. Our ultimate goal was to skip waiting 2+ hours for attractions that we knew were not worth that length of wait. Before we jump in, just a reminder that you can use Disney's Genie Plus for free. There is a section called Tipboard and My Day that are going to map out a Disney itinerary for you without any of the paid features. The catch is, with both the free and paid versions of Disney's Genie Plus, you can only utilize this when you are in the park or on a Disney resort property. So unfortunately, we could not test this out from home. I did my research and I still had so many questions, which is why I'm making this video for you today. We're gonna be focusing on the paid features today of both Disney's Genie Plus as well as Lightning Lane. While the free itinerary is nice, it doesn't prevent waiting in line. Here's one of my issues. Let's get into it. In order to use Disney's Genie Plus services, you have to pay for, in advance, Disney's Genie Plus services without any reassurance that you're going to get the attractions that you want to ride. If you are staying on a Disney resort property, we just did a split stay between Fort Wilderness Resort and the Riviera Resort. If you haven't seen our room tour for Fort Wilderness, I will link that here, and make sure you are subscribed because Riviera is coming soon. You can log on at 7 o'clock in the morning to get your Disney's Genie Plus or Lightning Lane reservations. These go so fast when it's busy. Because so many people are logging on at like 6:59:59, the reservations for really popular attractions go so fast. So it's like a little risky to pay in advance for this service if you don't know you're going to get what your family wants. Are you following here? Does this make sense? While we were in Disney, I had Mark do a screencast of his phone because we were using his particular app to log on. So I want to show you kind of what this looks like because it's not as obvious as you think. The first day that we used Disney's Genie Plus was super stressful. Mark was on his phone. My sister and I were FaceTiming while she was trying to reserve Lightning Lane reservations. It is a pro tip. If you can get two separate parties who are linked on each other's accounts to do this at the same time, it's a lot easier and a lot less stressful. Good morning. Last night was our first night at Riviera. If you are not subscribed or haven't seen our room tours from this video, please be sure to subscribe. The reason you are seeing me get ready this morning is because it's early and we just passed 7 o'clock. Look at this spray tan. Disaster. The things you do for Disney. So we just passed 7 o'clock, which means that today was our first time officially using the Disney's Genie Plus service. So I have thoughts. Hi, boo. I'm gonna have you get dressed soon, okay? Because we're gonna go to the park early. So we did get, for Disney's Genie Plus for Lightning Lane, we didn't get Slinky, which means we have to go right to the park, but we did get Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So Mark had already purchased Genie Plus for today. We're headed to Hollywood Studios today. We haven't used it yet. We were at Animal Kingdom yesterday and we were at Magic Kingdom for half a day 2 days ago. Now we are in the park during President's Day weekend, so it is 10 out of 10 busy, like Christmas season busy. Quite literally, tickets for the parks are sold out, and that hasn't happened since pre-pandemic. So it's busy here, and we knew that. We knew that coming, that it was going to be busy, so the plan was just to be patient and then use Genie Plus on days where we had really specific requests for the parks. So because we are with 3 kiddos, 6 and under, we know there are going to be must-dos for us. Like today, we want to do Slinky Dog, we want to do Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So when we went on the My Disney Experience app, the first challenge was, it was really hard to figure out where to actually go. And so we logged on early to kind of build the day in advance on the free trip planner. It doesn't let you see that itinerary until 7 a.m. anyway. And then we weren't sure if we should be on My Tip Board or My Day. So keep in mind that I've done research. I've watched videos on people doing this live. I have done videos on quite literally what Genie Plus is. Like, I would consider myself pretty well versed in how to use this technology, and my husband is really smart, and we were FaceTiming with my sister and her husband, who are also very smart humans, and it was still hard for us. So I do not think this is a very user-friendly or intuitive platform. That being said, we were able to get individual Lightning Lane passes, which you don't need Genie Plus for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and between 7 and 7:01 a.m. by the time we figured out where to find it, we could book for a whole party. And then when we actually paid for it, because that one is $15 a person, it's Lightning Lane.
Mama,
Yeah, Cal?
I seem to see magic because I put Duffy on the top shelf on the top of
Yeah.
Tonio.
Yeah.
And guess what?
What?
It's on the ground now.
Really?
I put him there.
That is quite magical, Callie.
And then I was like looking in the shelf, and then I looked down and I was like, how does that get there?
That is magic. You know that's Disney magic, buddy.
Cool.
Cool. Sorry. Just a little Disney morning magic here. So anyway, so sorry. By the time we clicked pay and actually were taken through the steps to pay, it had jumped, the time reservation had jumped 2 hours, and we couldn't get Rise of the Resistance at all in the span of 60 seconds. And also in that time span, we think that Slinky Dog sold out for the times allotted. So that means that at 9 a.m. we'll be able to book a second Genie Plus reservation, because the reservation we were able to get was for Toy Story Midway Mania, which we're also very happy about. So the point is that it took 4 grown adults with advanced college degrees some time to figure out how to use this properly despite doing research. So I will hopefully have some tips and tricks for you by the time this video is over, but since we've only used it this one time, my advice is know what you want, be fast, and have purchased Genie Plus for the day prior to actually even opening the app at 6:59 a.m. Boy, things are going fast. If you're here at a slower time, I don't anticipate it being that competitive, but our plan now is to rope drop Slinky Dog, and we'll probably still have to wait, but it is one thing that the girls want to do, and you know that I believe in going to the parks with a plan. Especially when it's so busy, you need to know what your party wants to do. So we'll be updating. Thanks for hanging out. So once you have your reservations, the other thing to figure out is how do you stack or roll them. This took us 2 days to practice before we actually got good at it and felt like we were utilizing the $15 per person per day that it was costing us to actually use Disney's Genie Plus. The trick here is when you're physically on the app, you have to be eligible for the next round of Genie Plus reservations. But it's not necessarily when you've used the first one. So for example, if you were able to secure like a 2 p.m. Disney's Genie Plus for It's a Small World, per se, you might be eligible at 11 a.m. to book the next one. So make sure you're clicking on your reservation, look at the gray text underneath, and it will tell you the time that you're eligible for the next round. You can make selections all day up to park closing. I don't think there's a specific number of Genie Plus reservations at this time that you can max out on. However, due to the nature of how they're spacing the time out, you're not going to be able to do them back to back to back. Once we figured this system out, we would look at that gray text and then we would set alarms in our phones to know when we could log on again. So that way we didn't forget and we could do something that the girls wanted to do. Something to keep in mind is that not all Disney attractions are available on Disney's Genie Plus. I made a pretty list for you that's free in the description box below. All you have to do is download. Okay, let's talk Lightning Lane. Lightning Lane is a separate pay per ride from Disney's Genie Plus. Oftentimes they get lumped together because they're used on the same platform and they both were new and rolled out at the same time. You do not have to pay for Disney's Genie Plus in order to pay for Lightning Lane. They are separate prices, separate things. Essentially, Disney determined the most popular attractions in each park and said, these are not eligible for just regular Genie Plus. These are going to be separate pay per ride Lightning Lane attractions, and there are 2 or 3 per park. You can grab them in the description box below. These costs, unlike Disney's Genie Plus, also fluctuate based on how busy it is. So again, Lightning Lane entry is based off a separate individual price point. But just like with Disney's Genie Plus, you have to log on to the app at 7 a.m. to get your Lightning Lanes. This is essential. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. people! Here's how fast. Here's how fast things went. The day we were in Epcot, 6:59, 58. We're on the app. We're ready to go. We are looking for Norway. We are looking for Frozen. By the time we had clicked the buttons for who this is supposed to be reserved for and went to pay, it's 7:01. The reservation wasn't until after Callie's bedtime. So like 12 hours later from park opening, which meant that we did not go through with that particular Lightning Lane purchase. 1 minute, 60 seconds. That's how fast it went. And we knew what we were doing by then. So be speedy. Be speedy. Know what you want. You do not dawdle in Lightning Lane. It's called Lightning Lane. Okay, I'll calm down. I'm sorry. Pricing for Lightning Lane attractions also varies. So Rise of the Resistance, because it's so busy, is going to be $15. I think that's the max it goes up to. Whereas my sister mistakenly booked us Space Mountain, which was $7 because not as many people wanted to do that. So The pricing fluctuates with how busy the park is and how busy or in demand that attraction is. Sidebar, if like my cute sister Mallory, you do make a mistake and you pay for 7 people to ride something they don't want to ride, so that's $50, right? You just go to the little blue tents in the parks, they're called guest services, and they will remove that from your charges. Is this something you're going to be utilizing on your next Disney trip? Either Genie Plus or Lightning Lane. I need to know. It's worth noting for all other guests. We've been talking about 7 a.m. If you take nothing else away, set an alarm for yourself. If you have children, this shouldn't be an issue. They're up anyway. But for grown-ups who are going on the Disney adult trip, 7 a.m. is the time, okay? If you are a guest staying not on property, you can't log into Genie Plus or Lightning Lane until the park actually opens. So you are already at a disadvantage, my friend, because they're going to be gone unless you go at a time that isn't busy. We'll get to that later. So the big question, is Disney's Genie Plus and Lightning Lane worth it? This will infuriate you, and I'm so sorry. But my answer is, it depends. Here's what it depends on. It depends on when you go to Disney. If you're going at an incredibly busy time, like a school break, a Run Disney weekend, a holiday season, or a festival, yes. Disney's Genie Plus is going to be worth it because it is still going to save you from waiting in line. This means you get to do what you really want to do in the parks. Are you with kiddos whose favorite rides are going to be among the ones with multi-hour waits? Callie's favorite rides are the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which arguably has the longest lines in Disney, and Slinky Dog. So yes, you need this if your kiddos are like mine. Are you traveling with Disney adults who don't mind waiting or have to do specific things in the park? No, this is not for you. Save your $15 per person. Maybe try Lightning Lane for Rise of the Resistance if you're willing to get up at 7 a.m. to do this. It depends. When you go, who you're going with, the ages of the people you're going with, and if you go often. If this is a once-in-a-lifetime trip that you and your family are saving up for, you're gearing up for, this is a big deal, or you're coming from another country to visit Disney World, yeah, splurge on Disney's Genie Plus to save yourself some time in the parks. We call this maximizing the magic, but it's gonna cost you. I don't want to end this video on a downer, but I want to be honest with you. I think this system is terrible. The downsides here, besides the money, right? If you can get over the hump that fast passes used to be free, and now, thank you, Mr. Chapek, we're paying for them. This system is not user-friendly or intuitive in any way. There's no differentiation when you first look at the app between attractions that are booked already and attractions you want to book. It takes a little getting used to, and again, I did my research, and if you're here, so are you, so at least you'll be ahead of the curve. This is 1,000% a money grab, right? How can we squeeze extra money out of the guests who are already paying exorbitant fees to be in Disney in the first place? I hate that. And it keeps you on your phone all day, and because it's location-based, it kills your battery. I don't want to be on my phone in the parks. I want to take some pictures, I want to mobile order my meals, and then I want to put my phone away and enjoy the company of my family and the atmosphere. Instead, I found myself double checking things, setting alarms so that I could log on at certain times. I just don't want to be tethered to my phone that much. So those are my thoughts. Despite all of the bad, if you're going when it's busy with kids, I do think it's going to become a necessary evil if you don't want to wait in those multi-hour lines. If you're going during a less busy time, your kiddos are older and can be a little patient, and maybe you're a family who's like, we're just happy to ride whatever's available, this is not for you. But if you are like, we have a priority list, my child is going to be upset if we don't ride Haunted Mansion, this might be something you need to do. We also doubled this. We compiled this with rope dropping the parks. So at every single day that we were in the park, we were there at early entry, which is about 60 minutes before the park actually opens if you're staying on property. So we were able to get what we needed for Genie Plus and then rope drop other attractions. So we couldn't get, for example, we could not get Ratatouille for Lightning Lane. So we were able to snag something else and then rope drop Lightning Lane and only wait about an hour. So this is totally up to you. If you have additional questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'm sure you will, because I am 1000% sure I did not cover absolutely everything. So make sure you're DMing me, emailing me, dropping me a comment so I can answer. And if you want to have a handy, pretty little guide for yourself about which attractions qualify for Genie Plus versus Lightning Lane, make sure you either follow on Instagram, because that's an old post, or go to the description box and there's a little download there for you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you found this helpful. If you did and you want more content that's Disney based, please give this video a thumbs up. I love you. I hope you don't have to wait in any lines ever. And we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.